bushwalking for a few weeks in Waiheke, we decided to break in our new minivan, Blue Steel. We went freedom camping for 2 nights, and that was a really cool experience. And after that, we decided to go to Raglan, and here's why.
Thanks, Viv. So here's what happened. About 11 years ago, I hosted a stranger using couch surfing, a girl from New Zealand, whose family happens to live in Raglan now. It's been about a decade since I've been in touch with Gemma, and when I reached out to her telling her we were coming to New Zealand, she said, "Oh, that's cool, but I'm in Australia, but you can go hang out with my family in Raglan." So here we are in Raglan, spending an awesome few days, and we feel really lucky.
Lucky indeed. A visit to Raglan, an adventurer's mecca, was never part of our plan, but turned out to be a highlight. We spent the next few days outdoors focused on kite surfing training, stand-up paddling, and hiking. A huge thanks to our wonderful hosts.
Today we're going on a hike to train for next week's Great Walk. It says it's gonna take 3 hours to summit, so let's see how long it takes us.
Happy days?
Happy days. 45 minutes down, 2 more hours to go. Look at that view. There's still so much more to go. To the summit. 2 hours and 20 minutes. To the summit. It's a great training hike. I'm feeling pretty good. Hike was a little muddy and a little slippery, but I think I'm ready for 41 kilometers in just a couple of days. We've been coming down the mountain for 1 hour and 45 minutes and we're almost out. It's been a really great day. We're done. We did it in 5 hours, but it's not a race. We had a great hike.
And of course, we finished right on time for a beautiful sunset, chasing golden hour as always. Our week in Raglan flew by. It was hard to leave, but our next adventure would be epic. Our first great walk, the TONGARIRO Northern Circuit. About 45 kilometers in total.
Today we're in Hamilton. We're gearing up because all the stuff that we need for hiking is actually at home in storage. And because we're going on a huge 4-day hike in just a couple days, we have to get the gear we need. You have to be prepared for all conditions that the mountains might present us. Hold that thought because my future is in here. So it's true that my future is here. But the truth is, we gotta go get our car back and go to the mechanic and take care of some business, so let's go.
Hiking the TONGARIRO Northern Circuit takes you completely around Mount Ngauruhoe, one of 3 active volcanoes in the park.
It's the night before we head out to hike the TONGARIRO Northern Circuit. We're camping and we're making dinner full of carbs. Here's the chef.
Making dinner, making some pasta, adding some green stuff. Always more olive oil.
Dinner is served. Today is day 1 of our 4-day hike. We woke up at 5:45 a.m. to make breakfast and get our bags packed. And we're ready to head out. It's gonna be 4 days. We're gonna hike between 4 and 6 hours every day for a total of 45 kilometers. It's gonna be chilly up there. We're setting out and we're ready to hike for about 4 hours today. It's only 8.5 kilometers, but we left early. We're gonna get to the hut early, eat dinner early so we can wake up super early for tomorrow, which is the exciting part of the trek. So it's been less than an hour, but it's time for a snack. We left 3 hours ago, and we just had a nice tuna lunch. It's delicious. I think that's our hut over there. It's pretty easy so far, day 1, but tomorrow's definitely gonna be a longer hike and a bit more steep, so gonna get mentally prepared. There's our hut for the night. It costs about $20 US per person, and it's bunk beds, so we're sharing it with 18 other people. Welcome to our home for the night. New Zealand has 9 great walks, and this is one of them. So we feel pretty lucky to be here. This place is pretty spectacular. The colors and the flowers and the landscape just makes it really unique. And I think we're gonna see even more exciting things tomorrow, since we're gonna be passing by some craters and some really colorful lakes. TONGARIRO is a really special national park. It's New Zealand's first national park, and it has dual World Heritage status. Day 2. Today is going to be the hardest day of the hike. It overlaps with the TONGARIRO Alpine crossing, so it's also going to be super crowded. There's Mount Dew. We're about halfway into our hike and we're climbing up the ridge up to the red crater. It's crazy, we're in a cloud. Last time I was in a cloud was in Vietnam. It's much colder up here, it's steep, it's muddy, it's slippery, so we're taking our time and we're being careful. Just crossed over the red crater, saw some beautiful emerald lakes, and now we're taking a detour to see the blue lakes. Hope we can see something. I don't know, we're still in a cloud, so let's see.
We were relieved to have reached the midpoint of the hike. Although the views at the top were not as spectacular as they could be, the conditions only amplified the experience. The second half of the day's hike would be mostly downhill through incredible alien-like landscapes. The clouds continued to swirl around the mountains and valleys.
Day 2 has been pretty good. It's been easier than we expected, and we're really happy to see that we are only 1 kilometer away from our next hut, where we can then have lunch and relax for the rest of the day. Here's our home for the night.
The cabins were pretty simple, and of the 3, this was the most cramped. 25 people squeezed into this hut. 1 main room with 11 beds adjacent to the tiny kitchen and dining space, and 2 smaller rooms with 7 tiny sleeping mats. Just across from the hut was a huge gorge with a beautiful waterfall, A few minutes hike and we were standing right on top, enjoying the scenery all alone.
What are you doing?
Picking some wild alpine berries for our breakfast tomorrow morning.
And what do they taste like?
Tastes like watery apples. They're pretty good. Nice and refreshing. Will be great in our oatmeal. Today's day 3 of the hike and we're starting a little later than normal, but that's okay because today's hike is only 3 hours. Should be easy, should be beautiful. Let's go. Day 3 has been a really nice walk. It's mostly downhill, which is not what yesterday's hike was. So I'm really enjoying today's walk. Have a couple more hours to go.
It was awesome to see all sides of the volcano in varying conditions as we circumnavigated day by day. It can appear dark and mean or simply strong and proud. Back on the trail, we descended into a beautiful and lush forest. And then we ascended the same forest's steep hill.
We've been hiking for 2.5 hours. We're almost at our next hut, right over there. We hiked through a beautiful beech tree forest, and other than that, it's been pretty easy. So, see you at the next hut.
The third and final hut was by far the nicest and most spacious. Built in 2010 and easily houses 28 hikers. Outside of the hut were decks and communal picnic tables with an excellent view of the volcano. A 10-minute hike from here was the original Waihohonu Hut, built in 1904. It was awesome to see. Stepping inside was like stepping into the past.
Day 4, the last day of the hike. We made it! Well, not yet. It's 8 a.m. and we're heading back to Whakapapa village. It's a beautiful, clear day and it's gonna be a nice hike. So let's get going.
Definitely awesome. We conquered. This has been an incredible hike. 4 days of beautiful views and the weather opened up for us on the very last day. We're sitting here at the Tama Lakes, the lower Tama Lake and the upper Tama Lake. It's a bit of a detour in the last day's trek, but it's definitely worth it.
And after our Tama Lakes detour, we were back on our way and nearly finished.
I'm gonna dip my feet in nice cold water. So good. So, 4 days, 3 nights hiking the TONGARIRO Northern Circuit. It actually wasn't as hard as I expected it to be, but it was a really good walk. And to be honest, I think we could do it in fewer nights. So if you're up for some 8-hour days, you can definitely do this hike in 1 night, 2 days. I would also bring chocolate because I saw a ton of other hikers had chocolate at night and I was super jealous. We've gone 4 nights now without drinking wine. We wanted to be prepared for this hike. We're done with the hike and tonight we're celebrating with 2 bottles of wine. gonna be great. So, continuing on our conversation about the cloud, let's get to the bottom of this. Can someone tell me what the cloud is?
Oh, I hosted.
Didn't work.
Dun dun na na, bad the bone. Dun dun na na na, bad ba ba na ba ba, bad.
Cloud computing, cloud services, iCloud, what is it? Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm in the cloud. Sweet as. Ta-da! Ta-da!
Make sure you kiss the chef.
So, if you can help me out, you can tell me about the cloud, leave us a comment below. Tell me what you know. What is happening? We go to the emergency assembly spot? You're welcome, cameraman. Deep bush of Tongariro National Park. Cameraman, take some photos. I don't see my music floating around in the cloud. I don't see any cloud computing going on around here. Do you? I didn't think so. So help me out.
You're not getting any oatmeal tomorrow.
What? Something smells around here. I don't think it's my cameraman. Actually, I think it's the sulfur.
My finger is frozen.
The cameraman told me to get in the bushes right now. Seaweed. Tonight we're celebrating with 2 bottles of wine. It's gonna be great. Don't judge us. Moving along. There he goes. Walking away. It's gonna be refreshing.